Thanks for coming. Tough week for us. Not how we wanted to perform or finish or the results that we wanted. But we're moving on. Eyes are ahead of us, and we got some big things to take care of. So, kind of a revenge week for us. Get back week, whatever you want to call it. It's a great opportunity for us. Marshall's in first place, undefeated. It's great. Couldn't be a better opportunity for us. So I think just what the doctor ordered. Kick it off, Shane.
Yeah. We talked last year about, you had a team that was very mature. You didn't, ban them from looking at the standings or anything like that. Obviously, it's different this time where, they're sitting in the middle of the conference right now. Is it similar where you kind of let them, do it themselves, whether they want to look at that and use it as motivation or need to ignore it right now, or just how do you approach that as far as letting them look at these things?
Yeah, my approach right now is a new one for me. I don't know if I've ever been in this position, right? We've had some years where we haven't been perfect in conference, but I don't know if I've ever been 3-3 in my first 6 in a conference with Kenny, anybody. So I'm seeing things from a different perspective. Now, will we hide from the standings? No, I think it's nothing but motivation for us. And I think we just have to remind ourselves that we win and we're going to win, right? And I think that's the main focus for me, is that's what we do. That's what we're going to do. You can't let anything affect your next performance, kind of thing. Good, bad, indifferent. But we've shown them the standings after I think we lost our first game. I think that's the first time we showed it to them. And you got to know. It's knowledge is power, man. And I want them to know. I don't want a standing to indicate how we come out for a game. But I do think understanding where you are is a really important thing as a team trying to accomplish the goal. So we looked at the standings, we looked at the tournament bracket, because you're re-educating a new group, right? A lot of people don't know. Grace, Gemma, Maddie, Delilah knows, Kylie, BMAC, Regina. I mean, you're educating a new group as to why you want to win each conference game, the position it can put you in to be successful in March. So they know that, and we just got to play better. That's the bottom line for me. So now we'll I don't know if I'll show it to him today per se, but I'm not afraid to show it to him, and we've shown it to him already. I think it can be a good thing for us, and that's what we'll do. But again, I don't know if I've been in this position before, so some of the motivational techniques might be a little bit different than usual.
And I don't know if it's affected by being 3-3, but do you like basically facing the same 4 opponents so early in the conference?
I don't. I think the schedule's I'm gonna choose a different word than what I'm thinking. Is the schedule's a little wacky sometimes. But I do think I don't want to say there's nobody I'd rather play, but okay, good. I want a challenge. I don't know. I think every year is so different in this league, and teams are able to put rosters together really, really quickly. I think Julie's done a great job with that. She's done a great job coaching them. And I think it's a winnable game. So I think it's a really good thing. Come back home. 4 of our first 6 are on the road, right? And, winning in conference on the road is a difficult thing. So I think coming back home with somebody that has our attention is a really, really good thing for us.
I know Saturday after the game, you're saying maybe some of the right buttons aren't being pressed at this point. I know it's early. Have you been able to maybe start to pinpoint maybe where that is and how quick of an adjustment that could possibly be at this point of the year?
I mean, look, as a coach, right, you're always going to come up with your own theory of what is going to work, right? Does this team need me to run them to death? Do they need me to be positive with them? Do they need, I just was watching Calipari, right? And they lost to Auburn, like a 20-point loss. And he said, burn the tape. That's not my team, right? That's his approach to this. Is it we've got to learn, do you go over more so yes, that's my last 48 hours, grueling 48 hours, okay? I don't wish that on anybody. But no, what I think we have to do, and my main focus is there's not a lack of talent. There's not a lack of an ability to win games. So distractions, different focus. What has changed that part, right? This is still the team that won 5 in a row, beating 3 high majors and a team from an American and a team from an A-10. So nothing's changed with that, right? So my goal is to really remind this team of who we are and what we're going to be, which is we're going to win. We're going to win. And so I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. I don't know. It's helpful. We had some serious conversations Saturday, even when the bus got back here, which is different for us. Usually you let them go. But I couldn't at that point in time. And so I think seeing them today, seeing what their faces look like, seeing what they've done over their last 48 hours, which I know our leadership will have done something. Because it's just not a position we want to be in and a position we're used to being in. I would have lost my house on that. As soon as BMAC got the rebound, I said, this is a ball game. We just won the game. And it's a tough one to swallow for me because so many times in my 10 years or 19 years, we close. It's done. And that's what we're going to do. But just remind them that who we are. And I think that's the most important thing for me.
You mentioned you close. Is there a common denominator with some of these close games and why you haven't closed them out?
No. You watch that game, anybody that's a crazy one. What all the events that happened to lead to that loss. So no, I think everything's different. And I think there's a program here, right, that gets learned from year after year after year, and I think it's passed down. And I think for whatever reason, it's just the ball just hasn't bounced their way. I mean, if and I don't want to mention any players' names because it's not one thing. It's not their fault. It's just wow, really that just happened. So no, I don't think it's one thing. I've probably searched more ideas than this whole room could think of. But no, for me, it's just, look, we know who we are. We know what we're capable of. Let everything else go that's happened, and we're starting right now being that team of who we are and what our mission is. And you can say you could have done that 3 days ago. Well, yeah, right. I think it's a process of that. And I think challenges aren't going away. I mean, in the last 2 days, the Sun Belt is now ranked sixth in the whole country as far as the quality of teams in it, as far as winning percentage, stuff like that. So we're sixth. We just passed the A-10. Challenges aren't going away, right? And it's Marshall's going to be a challenge. Georgia Southern's going to be a challenge, and on and on. So I'm not afraid of those challenges. I know our team. I believe in our team, and I think over time things can distract you from your ultimate goal, or distract you from what we're trying to achieve, which is togetherness as we go, right? You're getting better and better on the defensive end. You're getting better and better on the offensive end because of your discipline, because of your ability to retain knowledge, use the experience you've had, and make yourself better. So we're gonna be just fine. But it's a really tough one to swallow for me, and it's eating me up. And I know, but I hope it's eating them up too, because I just think with losses like that, you can really use it if you do it the right way.
was going to ask you, how are your kids handling this? You mentioned this is kind of uncharted territory for you and for this program. How are your kids handling this?
Not well, but in a good way, not well. There's not one of them walking around whistling like everything's okay and I don't care, like, you know. So it's just got to translate, and I think that room of people cares a lot about this program, where we are, what we're doing, the competitiveness, and I just think. We'll find out a lot about him in the next couple of days. But, I wouldn't say well. In the conversations I've had, I wouldn't say, like, people have had a great 48 hours. But, I told Peyton, and I really believe it. It's like, nah, we'll get it I'll get it fixed for you. I'm not letting you go down like this because I can't tinker it the right way. Like, I'll get it. And with her help, it will certainly help us get it.
Talk about Marshall and just what did they do the first time? What do they do that causes you guys some problems and challenges?
Yeah, it's hard. We're leading the whole game, and I'm not saying they're not playing well because she's got them figured out. They have an identity for sure. They play 2-3 zone, I would say, the whole game, but we did bust them out of that in the first half. They went man, and then sprinkled in man a little bit in the second half. They're a good team. 2-3 zone for a whole game gets to be a lot, right? I think for a lot of people, more people, any coach in the country would have 50 man offenses and not 50 zone offenses, right? And I think there's a reason for that, but. No, I think they're good. They shot the ball really well down there. And Tamaya, I always say Eustace Lewis, but it's Lewis Eustace. Is that right? You stay. Close enough. Tamaya, I know her. Tamaya. I talked to her in recruiting twice. So she's a really good player, but it's not just her. So Meredith Mayer hit some big threes for them. They're just playing well. And the biggest thing they've got right now is they believe they're going to win. And that's what we have to do, is we have to take their will away from that. And so down there was a game. Again, we got off to a good start. We were up at the half, 7 going in, 6 going into the fourth quarter. And just couldn't close it out. They had some big shots, and we didn't. And really, that was it. I thought the overtime was a little bit of like letting air out of the balloon. But no, it's not. You didn't play how you wanted to. But early on, and I think I thought that loss would really wake us up, and it did for a week, but not completely up.
Is it really tough to kind of identify intangibles? Because when you look at the quantifiable measures in conference play, for example, 4 players scoring in double figures, your rebounding is pretty balanced, your assists are balanced as well. Does that make it even tougher to try to pinpoint what's going on right now? Yeah,
no. Look, it's tough to figure out exactly what it is right now. That's not. I'm not scared to say that, but it's not. To me, you're not like hugely off, right? You're not just getting raked, right? And so to me, it's all part of the process, and this is going to be our process this year. And we've done this before. We've never been this 3-3, but I mentioned it, I believe, with Corey, where that we lost 4 out of 6 the year we won it, because we used it the right way. And that was a different time period. It was later in the year. We had a hot start that year. But what you're learning, what I'm learning as a coach is that like in year 10, you're still getting challenges to figure out. And I like that because no year's the same. No group is the same. Maybe this group needs this. Maybe this group from 5 years ago needed that, right? And it's like you've got to figure it out. What I know is our group is willing, and that to me is like the best part of the whole thing. So, no, there's areas though, Kurt, like we're turning the ball over way too much. I think that's hurting us. I thought that hurt us in Georgia State. I thought especially early, like unforced turnovers. And so that's on my mind. Our defense still has to get better. So whether you scored 4 in double figures or not is good balance. Our rebounding has been good overall, but our defense has got to get better. we've got to be able to play man to man, but we also have to be able to play some zone. And our zone is evolving; it's getting there. And I just think that's part of the year. That year that we ended up winning it, I remember we went down to South Alabama, and Terry Fowler was the coach at the time, and he was sick. So there was an assistant coach coaching the game, and he said, we had just lost 2 games, I think. We just lost to Georgia Southern at home. And he said, man, you guys just haven't changed in a while, right? And it's like you think you got it figured out and you're here, and then teams are really sinking their teeth into what you do, what you don't do, and you don't have a curveball for them. And that was part of that stretch. It really stuck with me. Is that like, so then, we messed with a 2-2-1, a 2-3. Just, it really stuck with me of like, you can do shell drill again today. They know shell drill, but like there is weaknesses that I don't know. I think it's in your personality sometimes that you can't change. That like, man, if they can do that, if they can get that 5-out slot drive or whatever it is, right? That's how you get JMU. So I think we've just got to evolve and get better, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, looking at the turnovers, they're pretty balanced too when it comes down to it. Obviously, you're
balanced,
primary ball handler, but that's to be taken. So I'm glad that you mentioned some of your past teams, because my next question, where you're shooting the 3-pointer, it's not, I'm sure, where you want it to be. But I remember a couple of your early teams didn't shoot the 3 very well too, and you just kind of said, well, we're going to win it by another way. Do you draw back on that experience with what this current team is going through?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what I did was going through, like, what were those challenges those years? What buttons did we push? What did we try? But yeah, to me, it was, I mean, we found a way to lose that game on Saturday. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Zakiah, who's been hot from 3, 0 for 4. Bree, who was shooting wide open 3s, 0 for 4. Peyton's 1 for 6. It's like, come on, man. Like, there's no way 2 of those don't go in. And you don't want to just have that attitude. It's like, how can we make it better? Maybe it's where she's catching the ball, her feet, all that stuff we're taking into account. But to me, the way I've always been is like, the stats to me are like, kind of like an afterthought of how we're playing. But like, no, we're going to find a way to win the game anyway. If it's, we're going to bully them on the glass, and that's the personality of that team, fine. If we got to press a little bit more because we got to turn people over, whatever the thing is. I don't think pressing is our personality. We got to get more from our bench too, right? So like, there's so many categories. But I think all this team needs is a couple wins, and I think we're off. I think there's a little bit of confidence in there, but I think Peyton is due for an absolute tear of games, and I don't know if it'll come Thursday. Doesn't necessarily matter, but the kid is too good to not have another tear in her, and I think that tear is coming.